You know, it's a really cool time in the history of walleye fishing right now because we have more data than ever to not only help us find fish, but to stay on those fish and also to help us control the boat and catch those fish. And because of all that data, what we're finding is a real trend into bigger and bigger screens on our depth finders and our GPS units. Thus enter the 16-inch screen on the Lowrance HDS 16. Now a lot of people would think, well, why do you need all of that screen realty? It's because there is so much data. You know, take a look at just this screen alone. We've got a GPS on here, we've got conventional sonar on here, we've got our down scan sonar, we've got our side scan sonar. Up on the top we've got information about our XI5 trolling motor. You can even put a bar out on the side with Mercury vessel view data about the engine back there. So all kinds of data. In fact, they say that this 16-inch screen has basically got the equivalent of 4 7-inch screens right on one unit. Now to process all of that data, this 16-inch unit is actually called a carbon unit. It has a dual core processor. Fancy term for it. It's got 2 computers in it, which allows it to update things a lot quicker. You're going to especially see that when it's updating that mapping when you're running across the lake. So you got all this information. When do we actually use this information, and when is that bigger screen nicer? The first one, I'll go to a screen here that I actually use a lot of times when I'm running across the lake. You know, sometimes when you're running, it's a little bouncy and stuff. It's hard to pick out information on here. Everything's bigger on the 16-inch screen, including things like your overlay data. You know, many people don't realize, but you can put a lot of the data as individual boxes on here, and you can control the size of them. On a smaller unit, a lot of times those numbers are real small. Here I can blow them up really big, so even as I'm running, at a glance I can see all the information. Speed over ground, bearing to waypoint, course over ground, my distance to that waypoint. So a lot of information, again, just at a glance and real clear to me. The other place I use this information, or this big screen, is we're spending more and more time in the back of the boat. Not only in our traditional ways like for trolling, you know, where we're sitting back there running boards or flatline trolling, but I also use it a lot when I'm fishing like shiver minnows or jigging because of that XI5. We put that down, it's in the wind, we come back here and we're casting with the wind back to the structure that we're actually fishing. And again, I just got to glance over my shoulder. I can see things like depth, water temperature. I can see how my trolling motor is doing up at the top. So tons of information to help me when I'm fishing. So data is really important. The more you can show and the better you can see it, the better you're going to be at finding fish, staying on those fish, and catching more of them.